And another weird dream, ladies and gentlemen. Who knows what it means? So, I had a dream that I was with my mom in my hometown. And somehow I had a cat and a dog. I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do with them? I can't afford a cat and a dog. And the dog was like a Rottweiler. It was a huge one. Like, I have to, like, with my schedule, with all the money situation, I can't afford having pets. Like, when will I walk with them? Well, a dog, right? And a cat, so I was sleeping there in my hometown, and I wake up to having, like, when I'm waking up, I see that another cat comes in out of nowhere and lies down next to me, and then another one, and then a dog it was a dog that just like popped her head. It was like, oh wow, I have another dog. And then a sausage dog also comes in. So at the end I ended up having 4 cats and 3 dogs. I was like, oh wow, I guess I have them now, but how am I going to do that? I can't have pets. Like, my schedule doesn't afford me to have pets. I can't walk with them in the morning. I can't walk with them in the evening. And like all the food, I don't have that money to buy all the food for them. Like, how am I going to feed them? That's weird. Oh, and I remember, like, at the beginning, I was talking to some woman who was maybe not homeless, but had really little money and was kind of like gathering, like plastic bottles and that stuff. That's so weird. I felt like I was a Christmas tree with pets hanging off me. Okay, I was a fallen Christmas tree because I was lying, and pets just like lying on me. I was like, oh wow, and another one. Where are they coming even from? Weird. I guess it's a week of weird dreams for me. I wonder what's next, but what do cats and dogs mean? Anybody knows? And I was not thinking about pets before I went to bed. And like the whole day yesterday, I was absolutely dead, just like sleeping. I was so tired. I could hardly move. That was probably a bad idea to do 3 workouts on the same day, because like my shoulders, they like ow, it still hurts. The muscles, they still hurt. So yesterday was even worse. And after those shoes, for now, flip-flops is the only thing I can wear, because I can't have anything touching my toes on the top because of the blisters. Those shoes, they absolutely killed my feet. And even, like, I also got a blister on the bottom of the foot, so it's like I'm walking kind of normally with one foot. The other one I can only put it down on a heel, so it's like I'm homebound for a few days till it gets better. Not that I was going somewhere, but well, I haven't stepped down today yet, so maybe it is better. We'll see. But anybody, what do cats and dogs mean? That's just weird. Yeah. I heard people say that cats lay down on you at the spot that hurts. I remember when I had a cat and I was little and I had like crazy fever, like when that was the first time in my life when the first and the last time in my life when I saw things because of high fever. I had a vision, and also like I was hallucinating, and I also heard like with my ears. So it felt like my room was kind of rolling inside like a rug, like a carpet, and I heard the sound of birds, like this, like when there is a lot of birds, like in Venice somewhere, or when you feed them, and when they fly away you can hear the sound of their wings kind of like hitting on each other. That's a terrible sound. So at that time my mom told me that my cat was always sleeping by my head, and she held her paw on my forehead. If this dream means that those cats lay on me in the places that hurt, then yeah, sure, because everything hurt yesterday. But it is so weird. Like all the dream, I was like, what am I going to do with them? I can't kick them out. Like, what am I going to do? I don't have time. Sorry, I don't have time. I don't have money for that. Like, what am I going to do? Oh no, where are they coming from? Can anybody take them? Can we find a good home for them? As I can't. I can't take care of them. There are so many. Why are they all coming? Why do they keep coming? Weird. What are your theories? Leave them below. Okay, I read the third procrastination article and about basically how to fight it when there is no deadline. My case, right? Well, I guess there are different options and ways, but they all come together to this one thing, that you have to be aware of it. Yeah, this guy who wrote it, he really recommended this Eisenhower matrix, that like a square that is divided into 4 smaller squares, and first column is urgent, second column is not urgent, then first line is important and second line is not important, so which basically comes to urgent, important, not urgent, important, urgent, not important, not urgent, not important. And procrastinators usually live in the 4th one, not urgent, not important. The progress in careers where you're kinda your own business happens in the 2nd one, not urgent, important. And right, wait a second, do I remember it? Yeah, not urgent, important. So that's kind of about like improving yourself, right? And procrastinators rarely go there. If they're lucky and they were able to kind of pull their life together and exist between like 1st, 3rd, and 4th, which is urgent, important, urgent, not important, not important, not urgent, then it's like you basically are in a great shape and in a great place. But there's always a but, right? Awareness. You have to be aware that, like, what is important for you. Basically, it's kind of like you need to have a session on you, like on your own. I stuck on grammar. On self-reflection, figuring out in your life, in your specific life, what is important for you, like where you want to progress. Because sometimes urgent things that we have to do, they're not progressing you, they're not making your life better. So it's very individual approach, and you really have to understand your goals. Also, it's kind of, gosh, I just understood that. Like, why am I telling you this? Because honestly, I have my own selfish goal. When I was tutoring English, I understood that I actually understood all the rules better when I had to tell someone anything about them, or to teach someone about them. So sorry, that's why. Maybe it will be helpful for you too, but basically by telling you, I kind of reflect on what I've just read, and it kind of records in my brain. So another part of successfully overcoming this dire, sometimes really dire problem is that each one of us has this storyline going in their head. Like, I am a person that does this and that. And you kind of have to re-record this message. You kind of have to reevaluate it and like rewrite your own story. You know, it's like, instead of, it kind of reminds me, there is this type of work in psychology where you write down all the negative affirmations that you have in your head and rewrite them into, or like statements, and rewrite them into positive. So basically, if your storyline, like the story that you tell yourself about yourself, is that I never get things done, I'm a loser, I'm not successful, I will never reach anything because I never get anything done. You believe in this. And by being aware that this is where you can go, try to tell yourself another story. Like, no, I'm someone who gets things done. Like, write a list, right? And when you get things done, cross them out so you have a visual. And that way, re-record this statement that you have in your head, re-record this story that you have in your head onto a positive one. Like, oh, I get things done, I progress in my, I don't know, whatever you want to progress at. And by having achievements, basically your loser part loses. It gets weaker because you're kind of growing a winner inside of you. That's my take from it. And again, it's like all of this has been said before, just in different words, because really, if you Google procrastination, you will find like 1,000 articles about it. And all the advice that you find there, it's all valid. It's all valid. But the problem with all of that, and including this article, is that you have to be aware. You have to be aware of what is happening to you. And that is the hardest thing to do. Because a lot of those moments you are kind of not unconscious, but you don't notice, that, oh, my hand actually wants to take the phone. I want to scroll for a while. And no, like these past 2 days I noticed. I remember I was scrolling yesterday and I was like, okay, 5 more minutes and that's it. I kind of woke up in half an hour. Then today in the morning I woke up at 10. I took the phone and then I got out of bed after 12 p.m. 2 hours gone. Today I planned on starting the cleanup. I cleaned the apartment maybe 5 minutes, maybe 10. So it's just a tiny little bit. But I can say that I did something. I put the hats away, the hats that I used for the photo shoot. I deposited my check of $30.01 for the fitting. I threw away some paper, those things that you get in your mailbox. Physical spam, basically. That's it. And I had the whole day. And now it's almost 9 p.m. I think. So yeah, it's hard to be aware. That's why I write to myself all the papers I have here, but guess what? I forgot about them because they're kind of hidden here. They fell because it was raining, it was windy. It's like they're right there where I can't see them, so I lost my reminders basically. I forgot about them. And my awareness kind of left me at that moment. So it's like a constant job and constant choice you have to make every single day, just because our brain, procrastinator's brain, it's wired differently. Also, the problem with those articles is that they are written for people who are very much in control about what is happening in their brain. And when you're not, that's a problem. I guess that's what made these 3 articles unique for me, because the guy actually wrote about himself, because he's kind of one of us, Maybe that's why they resonated with me, because it felt like he feels me, he feels the same. So yeah. So what can I say? I will try again tomorrow. I didn't step outside because my feet still hurt. I have 2 terrible blisters on my toes and they're so painful. I can't have anything like touching my skin. So I haven't stepped outside today as well. I mean, possibly if I band-aid them, it would feel better. But I want to give them as much time as I can to heal. Because, my goodness. I am honestly terrified about what they're going to give me on Tuesday. Because I remember a couple of looks there were, like, they gave me those really cool Karl Lagerfeld, what do you call them? Like, they were not like shoes, they're like sandals but with a heel. And I'm a sucker for brands, honestly. That's why probably I love walking up and down Madison Avenue, because I can't afford it, but I window shop. So they gave me those, and I wanted to wear them so badly. So they were like a size smaller. They were very tight. Like, standing felt fine-ish. And then I had to walk to take a pic, because it's like you wear, look, you go, you take a picture, and then it is sent to the main costume designer and they either approve or not. And they were like, oh, well, but you can hardly walk in them. And I did a terrible thing to myself. I said, no. I wanted to wear them so badly. I was like, no, I can walk in them. They're like, isn't it uncomfortable? I mean, I will wear something else in between, but having this Tuesday, my first shooting day, I didn't realize it would be that much walking. And now I understand that if they give them to me, they will be, like, the straps will be on where my blisters are. Those are deep blisters. So I don't know. It's like, it was approved. It's like, make it work. Oh my goodness. My therapist told me today about moleskin, and I think I will get it to myself, so at least when I try new shoes I could stick it onto those places where I anticipate to get new blisters, so that skin is protected. That's what he was taught to use when he was in the Navy, because they walk like miles and miles and miles. But I realized that I wouldn't be able to use them on these two, because it's like a huge sticker, you know, that is soft on the top, and it means I would have to stick it basically onto the wound. And gosh, I should not do that, but it's so painful, my goodness. Today it's at least a little bit better. Yesterday it was absolutely excruciating. Oh well. Art. Right? We're suffering for art. I think they told us that on Tuesday it was the first episode. And I definitely should make it into the shot, because I was walking either in front or behind the lead character. So I was there. Either with my hair down and wearing blue, or with my hair in a braid wearing black dress with some golden pattern on it. So yeah, next Tuesday will be, I think, more like a lawyer, gallerist, that type of look. So we'll see. Damn, I do hope they won't give me those sandals or whatever they are. Sometimes I wish I could keep my mouth shut, really. When I need to speak up, I don't. And when I don't need to do this, I do. I say something that I regret about later. Well, welcome to my world. I don't know, how much time does it take for it to heal? The problem is also that I'm a slow healer. Some people are like 3 days and they're fine, they have a new layer of skin. With me, sometimes it feels like it takes forever. So I don't know. Those shoes are brutal, so brutal. How did people walk in them? I remember I read somewhere, so George Clooney, before becoming an actor, or it was his survival job, he worked as a sales assistant in a shoe store. Oh wait, I'm having a deja vu. I already told this story to someone. Pardon me if I told it to you. So the story, he worked in those high-end shoe stores where a sales assistant has to put a shoe on your foot. So he said that he saw ladies who cut their toes out to be able to fit into those pumps. Can you imagine how disgusting that was? Oh my god. And why would you even like cut half of you? Some part of you, not half, part, to fit into. Oh my god. Oh well. Pressure is real. It was so hard. I'm so grateful for this new fashion that now we can wear sneakers with basically anything. Very grateful. Those shoes were terrible, my god. And I have like a bone on the other foot that is hurting. You know, like that bone here. Oh gosh. Those shoes were terrible. There were other brown shoes that I tried. They were much better, much more convenient, and I told them that they were much more convenient, so maybe I could wear them. And like everything moved so quickly on Tuesday that I didn't notice specifically what shoes they had there for me, because it was all like on hangers, like with our pictures. It's like our pictures from the fitting with all the looks, and they basically had the looks for the clothes for those looks. Oh yeah, they didn't bring a skirt for one of mine, so we had to figure it out there on the spot. And they gave me a skirt that was basically like a parachute for me. Too big. But it's okay. I don't complain, it's just fun. You know, things to remember. Okay, I've been talking like forever. I hope it was useful for some of us, right? Well, the fighting procrastination thing. Yeah, I do find like sticky notes and leaving notes here for myself as reminders. They work, but I have to make them because all of my notes are right here. There's another one. This one says that I have to not work alone, that I have to ask for help. I have to work with a crew. I forget about this. Okay, I hope everyone had a great, what is it, Thursday, right? And I'll talk to you tomorrow. Thanks so much for listening. Good night.